Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is True Power's Mind, baby, and this is 2020, the year of our Lord. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is TPIM SR Live, and I'm your host. What a wonderful, wonderful start of the new year. This will be the year of the hub. As you don't time viewers remember last year, I started off the year by saying last year was the start of changing our perspective, changing the way we think, changing the way we view things. And that's why the past year, the show's emphasis has been on bringing on new guests, bringing on new ideals. Brother David, peace and power. But this year, as of today, James, this will be the year you will see it manifest. It might be small. Hub 001 might only consist of maybe even a city block. Or it may be as large as 30, 40, 50 acres. But this will be the day. This will be the year. Like I said, yeah, with the last video, Sister Alexandria, peace and power. My mighty author sister. Don't forget, yeah, she has written a book. She is a motivated lady, good woman, and she loves the people. I wish I could have done more for many of you guys to support your different activities, but this will be the year I can do that. I have the utmost joy in my heart today. I know that there's some very powerful people listening to the broadcast. And I'm literally got a smile from one ear to ear. You know, reason why is because they understand what I'm talking about. Jason Moon, welcome to the show. Peace and power, unity and victory, brother. Thank you for getting in here today. I'm just, I'm really beside myself because of the fact that this show quite literally started on a shoestring and a whim. But it has blossomed into something that I wouldn't even have been able to imagine. And once again, that's because of you, the viewer, the listener, the confidential informants from all over the world. Thank you for trusting me enough, sending me information. So with that, hold on. I want to try to do something just a little unorthodox today. There he is. There it is. Now, boys and girls, you know there's wars and rumors of war. All right? But we cannot deny the obvious. The siege at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Inside Scorch building. Tear gas fired at pro-Iran mob. Now, here's the weird thing. One, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Infinite love. Sister love. We all remember prior to the Gulf War, the second one, and even really the first one, Iraq and Iran were opposed to one another. They had a lot of skirmishes on their borders. That's because Western powers set them up like that. You know, it's easier to get oil. And look at this. Hold on. Look at this cat. If you was to take the damn turban off, dude, he would look like the typical white boy. But that's the Ayatollah of Iran. He would have looked just like a typical white boy, almost Santa Claus. Now, for all you brothers and sisters, I know there's a lot of them frustrated with Christianity, the way it was co-opted and basically turned into a tool of white supremacy. in many ways, Islam is no better. If you really look at the leadership, if you really look at the people running the show, you're not going to see nappy hair. You're not even going to see dark skin. Now, a lot of this comes from my conversations with the sisters from the Caribbeans, the sisters who understand the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and what it truly represented to our people collectively. I'm not saying that there are not good Muslims. I'm not saying there's not good Christians. I'm not saying they're not good Jews. But the ideal of these three concepts have been distorted. Just like the Communist Chinese Republic, or the People's Republic of China, or whatever, the Communist People Republic, they're rewriting the Bible as we know it. And the Bible that we know today has been rewritten from a Bible that was known back in the day, that was rewritten from it just goes on. Listen, this is why I always say the truth is in your heart. And you guys know that's not no bullshit. You know good and well. The truth is already in your heart. The truth of right from wrong. The truth from righteousness to unrighteousness. The truth of being good versus being an evil piece of shit. We already know this. It's really elementary. As long as you don't have any real mental deficiencies or some sort of malformity in your actual DNA makeup, to where these type of thoughts are just outside your grasp or concept. Brother James, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Reggie Smith, peace and power. Welcome to the show, brother. I'm glad you guys get Easy D. Happy New Year's, brother. Peace and power, unity and victory. Dignity and respect to you all. Listen, y'all. Troops are ready in 4,000. Pentagon's ready in 4,000 troops to be deployed. We better understand right now we're in a very volatile situation, because for many of us, we don't realize that Navy or shipping lanes on the oceans is essential to our empire. Well, looky here, y'all. 2 choke points are about ready to be contested. Huh? What do you say? Dirty dirt. The Eastern Southern Chinese Sea, major shipping lane, and the Suez Canal, Middle East, major shipping lane. Sister Love, welcome to the show. This is the problem. We don't understand just how global this economy truly is. And it truly is. Listen, the reason why ever since World War I, you don't see total war. I mean, you saw it a little bit in World War II, but that's about it. It's because the people who truly run this earth, it's like Star Wars, man. They fund the empire and they fund the rebellion. They fund the communists and they fund the socialists and they fund the capitalists. If we all was to raise up in the United States today and say, you know what, we're not paying off our national debt. We're not going to, cut a check for what, $180-something thousand. Come and take our money. Who could come and take our money, or come and take your property back? Who could repo the United States if we all stood fucking together and said, fuck you? Nobody. The way the present political military dynamics is right now. Now the world could try to come along against us, but all we have to do is launch our nukes and it's game over for everyone. Tate, peace and power. Welcome to the show. So let's see what Iran has to say. Iran defiant, taunts Trump, can't do a damn thing. Holy shit. Can't do a damn thing. Trump's too busy scrambling about becoming the ex-president, being impeached. Let's see what else is coming. War will derail re-election, which is bullshit. Buchanan knows this. This is bullshit. Everyone knows whenever there's a war, the sitting president usually gets points up because no one wants to change leadership during a war for whatever reasons. It is the Illuminati handbook, Tate. This is the Illuminati handbook, straight up, from the funding to the moral corruptions to the spiritual debasement. It's all a part of the same yoke. All right. Jordan calls for Netflix to ban anti-Islamic series. Now, there was an article I really didn't talk about that came out last week. Basically, the UN is making a treaty that's being backed by Russia and China to censorship the whole web. You know, since when do the Chinese and Russian dictate how we interact in a social capacity, certainly on the internet? Let me tell you since when. Since the true masters of the world decided to make it so. You think your little country, you wave your flag. You know what? Let's do something crazy. Let's do something crazy. I want to bring some joy and you know, something that's a little different. Just bear with me. Hold on. Just bear with me. You know what? I don't care if I get demonetized. You know why? Because the vast majority of my stuff is demonetized. All right. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. You guys ready for this?
Welcome to Rap News, your news source for the latest report beaming forth from planet Earth, where humanity loves nothing more than being entertained, amused, entranced, enthused, and enthralled by a popular global ritual commonly known as sport. That's right, sport. For as we talk, a third of all humans are tuned in with volume turned up to the biggest of all sporting events, the World Cup, which is being hosted in football's very own Mecca, Brazil. Citizens there must be delighted and thrilled, so join us as we'll cross to Rio to speak to one of the happy people.
Oi galera, tudo bem?
Tudo ótimo. And you?
Não, tudo terrível.
Everything terrible. But why? Not enjoying o jogo bonito?
Football is beautiful, but there's corrupção here that's evil.
Corruption.
Tem certeza. When we heard about the World Cup, we said beleza. But from São Paulo and Rio to Fortaleza, the people are in need of educação, saúde, habitação, comida. But instead, our taxes are used to feed the piranha FIFA.
Hold it right there.
They're here!
You are under arrest.
Ay, caralho!
Stay calm, soccer fans. We have enforced and restored peace. Please continue to enjoy World Cup 2014.
What's this here?
We have taken control of Brazil. Bom dia.
And you are William de Berg, representing FIFA. Welcome back, Bill. So is the World Cup bringing joy all round? It is bringing us lank amounts, and that's what counts. Check out bank accounts. This is the biggest world coup of all time. $30 billion, more than all three previous cups combined. It seems Brazilians would prefer FIFA quality homes instead. Better schools and hospitals. They're striking, calling protests. Nonsense. We're bringing them order and progress. Having mass evictions, cleaning the streets of all the homeless. Gentrification. Those favelas are on prime real estate. You see, the World Cup provides a perfect pretext these days to take away liberties and impose a police state, increased surveillance, special forces, laws and courts to prosecute protesters. And all these measures will remain long after the end of the festival. But won't Brazil be left with chaos and tremendous debt to own? Sure, that's why our stadiums were designed with a special second row to be converted into massive prisons after the final whistle blows. Incredible. These are just a piece of the benefits FIFA brings to Brazil, and that is why many others compete to host the World Cup as well. Russia, you're next to foot the damn bill, and then me and Sepp Blatter will take the show direct to the slave kingdom of Qatar. Now hang on, Mr. DeBerg, I'm no expert. I'm aware of this, but I thought this sport was supposed to be all about fairness. Why did you think that we call it the World Game? Huh? You see all those fans out there in the lanes, so watching TV, backing their team, chanting Olay, giving their flags a passionate wave. They think they're spectators, but in fact they're in the actual game. They are. Let's get the through score in the match of the day. We're chatting with national team captains today. Don't you have it? Tough match? Not really, Billy. We've used the best tactics and come away with the victory. The opposition didn't really stand a chance tonight. That's right. You might have expected the Australian people to have a bit more fight, but their fatal own goal was to vote Tony in the last election. Because even though the Australian economy was the envy of everyone, and we sailed through the GFC with a AAA rating, I still slashed the budget for pensions, unemployment, health, and education by making up some crap about fiscal emergency. A fake five. That's even better acting than the Italian team. This strategy should put us ahead in the world game. Without education, the next generation of strains will most probably become a bunch of ignorant fuckwitted suppositories, even more obsessed with sport. That's great for the economy. Spoken like a true world game captain, but will Australia be champion? What about the result in your match, Mr. David Cameron? Fair play Aussies? Not bad. Giving the people minimum funding. But to really give them a thumping, you need a criminal function. That's what England's got in the form of the elite city of London, whose bankers catalysed the GFC with their corrupt international plundering. But we don't punish them. Instead, we steer the English people with penalty kicks and impose a rigid round of society killing austerity hits. Plus, we cornered them with poor diet, poor education, and tabloid media images, making those idiots blame their situation on the poor and on immigrants. Excellent game. But now the heavyweights are ready to play. First the USA, acting Captain John Kerry, Secretary of State.
Billy boy, we might suck balls at soccer, but we dominate the league table and beating down our own people.
Lethal. What's your game plan procedure?
We seek to outmaneuver them in every position we take up. In defense, we use illegal homeland surveillance of data. In the midfield, we possess the best strikers in propaganda. They've even managed to convince folks that Snowden's a traitor. Heck, we've scored so many goals against Americans. The other teams are scrambling to imitate us, but they barely can.
Don't speak too soon, John. There are some strong players in this game. Like last tournament's reigning champions, Spain.
Hola, somos en números rojos, the Spanish home team. Soy Mariano Rajoy, el capitán. In 2010, we took the football trophy, but our biggest victory was to squeeze public liquidity and to deprive El Pueblo not just of money, but of their dignity. Now our unemployment is the best. 2 in 3 youths feel the strain of no job or prospects of change unless they choose to emigrate. That's an even better score than Greece when they led the way. The others are not bad, but Spain's the true champions of the world game. World game? Wait till I make the world's climate change.
Raise austerity,
Print more money.
98%, so much passion. But which will be the winning team? Don't you see? They are all winners. That is why we sing.
Put your favorite to the side. And live in side by side. Show the world where you are going. Show the world we are one.
Our world, the whole world's our game. We do us, the whole world can play. These flags were made, so you fight yourself. Instead of us, the whole world's our game.
One night to the world divide. Two sides, one fight in a million lives. You cowards gonna get screwed harder.
All you people, peace up to this day. Fascist, come on, sing with me. And we say to nationality. Come on now. Come on now.
Wow. Thank you to my Australian confidential informant for hipping me to these people, the Juice Media. It's not like this is a state secret, yeah. Sister Sandra, welcome to the show. H, welcome to the show. Sister Janice, welcome to the show. Peace and power and smoke less. Welcome. Like I said, this is no state secret. They already know what time it is. They already know that our politicians are nothing more than puppets. They've been paid. And here's another scary bit. At the end of that video, you heard the dude say fascism is rising in this world as if it hasn't never really been snuffed out. When you really look at how fascism is implemented, it's implemented just like capitalism and all the other isms. There's a racial component, baby. And it is like a cancer, H. It's a cancer that's rotting and debasing and killing not only humanity, but the very planet that we are on. We have to unite. If not, then you're going to bow down to robots eventually. Let me check this out. Governor fires correctional officers for Nazi salute. Hold on. We're not going to do that. Check this out. I'm gonna copy that. Let me copy this. We're going to jump over here. Go up here. Now,
there's new fallout tonight following a group photo that appeared to involve a Nazi salute. It shows a training class for West Virginia corrections officers with arms raised. 2 instructors and a cadet have been fired. 34 others, including everyone in the picture, are suspended without pay.
Now, what this chick failed to say in the article, the written article, the governor cites that the hand salute was not racist, and that these people apparently didn't know what they were doing. That's hogwash. They knew exactly what they were doing. Who doesn't know Zig Heil salute? Really? Because after all, the Nazis won World War II. Oops, did I say that out loud? Fuck, I didn't mean to say that. That's supposed to have been a secret. Secret no longer. They won World War II. You're like, no, true. Germany was destroyed. No, the people of Germany suffered, absolutely. But the Reich won World War II. The reason why? How you know this to be true? The status of Germany 70 years after World War II, economically, Germany controls Europe. Economically, their cousins, in the city of London, controls the financial sector for all, or if not most, of the illegal activities of the world. The Queen, if you look into her, the Queen of England, the Queen of Malta, which is the same person, German DNA in her. You see, folks, when we go down the rabbit hole of Nazism, communists, racists, there's a big fat alien at the bottom. One ciphering them information, technology, and hateful thoughts. But at the end of the day, yeah, if you have 46 chromosomes, you have skin, flesh, and bone, and you walk upon this earth, you are nothing in the cosmic realm, except for DNA material used to facilitate whatever extra outside earth lifestyle you're trying to do. Because, you know, once again, me and Sister Raynetta broke it down 2 shows ago about how a lot of our DNA is going off world. But I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear that shit. True, stop with the space shit. We don't believe in no space shit. Stop it. Okay. I'll stop it. And yes, Brother Smith, Trump is Russian, or not Russian, but German as well. The German people themselves are not good or bad. They're just like any other group of people that have been oppressed, dispossessed, disenfranchised. They're seeking respect and dignity, just like any other group of people. Germany, Russia, China, Mexico, any other little nationality you want to talk about. It's nothing more than a representation of the debasement of the human psyche. For men and women to believe that just because I live on this side of an imaginary line and you live on the other side, you are my mortal enemy. This is the game that we're in. BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. BRICS represents, if we want to talk about national security, represents the greatest threat. Yes, H. Germany is an experiment, just as France, just as United States. But back to BRICS. BRICS is a manifestation that lets the world know that 50% of the world thinks like this, 50% of the world thinks like that. When you really look at the global economic share of all those countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, you're probably looking at damn near 50, maybe even high 50s or high 40s, low 50s of the global economy in just that little cabal of nations. You got to understand, folks, economics is the game. That's how they keep us all in line. Oh, Brother Tay, I'm not going to trip because you know why? I'm getting paid. I like this system. That's what it's all about. It's all about them having people within your own bloodline, your own family, that's doing quite well. And those people want to continue to do quite well. Why? Because the rest of the family bows down to their evil ass. Folks, right now, we have two problems. One, many of us don't know our true ancestral heritage. And the second problem is you're not going to get enough time to fully realize that. Oh, another side note, the National Archives, the place that you go to get the information about your descendants, are about ready to bump up the price. Something that used to cost $20 will soon cost $500. So you better put that in your pipe and smoke it. I want to play a song real quick because hold on. Because I think it's going to be more important than you know.
The former Secretary of State is effectively accusing a major in the Hawaii National Guard of a crime punishable by death.
Hold on. Peace and power. Post-apocalyptic rock. I tried to warn humanity, my friend. Oh, listen to me. I tried to avoid the capitalism. I tried to avoid the annihilation. But you won't hear me. You will not unite. You don't want to be victors and prepared to fight. So now
all see you coming. The train, choo-choo, down the line that's running. It's coming to get you, put you on the track. Take you to the oven and easy make like that. Don't you hear and don't you fear the film of goes in the water of my ears. It's going down, making me a crowd. Don't you see my friends? What's going on? They want to kill us, usually us, eat us, they're better out there. Oh, this is what I said. That's what they want to do to humanity. Shed us, raid us, play us. Yes, my friend, you've been all deceived indoctrinated to believe we'll be the system to breathe, the system to breathe, the system to eat. Don't forget a place to sleep, my friend. We're out on again. We're out, my friend. The homeless, yes, again. There's a taxes to lose the land. Where will you stand? Or what will you stand? Sleep on the sidewalks covered in shit. Post-apocalyptic rock, yes, bitch. Now you'll see, now you will believe in the conspiracies. In the conspiracy, you will die on your knees. The new Lord of the planet arises beneath. In the peace of clean rise, desire is name. So maybe not loud, they tell you the plan. And look out, my friend, the march gotta get. Yes, my friend, it will work, it will work, it already worked, it's working again. This has been done, this is doing, and it will come to pass. There is no screwing. The system out of power. A bunch of individuals will never rise to the challenge, my friend. You do again. You do, my friend, we had a chance to save our lives. We had a chance to have everyone up it all, but we fucked it up. We were used to life. So there it goes, to earth in the life. They're in the mic, they have the power of death. They're in the mic, they did hit your ass. So that's legally, by their laws I say, you have no place on the earth, baby.
And that's that. Listen, y'all. One of the strongest forms of propaganda, group manipulation is through song and music. It just is. It's not the way I want it. It's quite literally just the way it is. Listen, y'all. I have no delusions to think that the Zionist plan, a catastrophic end, isn't going to come to fruition. And you shouldn't have any delusions that it won't come to fruition either. I know you guys think I'm hyperbolic when I say, look, they're going to put your asses on trains and put you in the oven. Sister Kathy, Happy New Year. Peace and power. Hold on. That image, Pat. What image? The image that you see right now on Google, this one with the bear? Music calms you the beast. You know it. Well, you know, as we all know, if we break down this image you see technology mixed with soft curved lines. Now, if these were all pointy, it would evoke a different effect. Hold on. One second, y'all.
Guess what? This is a master legal child production. Worst thing about having $1 million in the bank is that when the bank closes, you're only guaranteed $100,000 of it. I knew I had a recession. Oh shit, I said a depression. Listen up, my friends. The dollar is falling. Unremitting my value is the shed of blood, my friends. We're off to war again and bloody again. We have to already going, but we need a third, my friend. We gotta look back to the end, in the beginning, my friend. We will see in the end, welcome to mass restrictions again. That I worked before, and it will work again. When we attack Iran, you know that we will win. Yes, I got your attention. Yes, we're in a recession. And yes, we're up to war. Cause the dollar I mentioned is coming, it's falling. Before we bring our mirror out, we must understand that not you guys was dying down. To understand this, we got to see how we get money. And so that we can keep control of power money. Yes, you gotta understand. Yes, you must see. In the end, my friend, it was really fucking bad. And it is really bad. You will die, she will. Come to the back and keep us going with your blood. For my money to be worth something, or it's not backed by nothing. But you, my friend, it is time for you to make your money in. Yes, we are on to war. We didn't do stuff, not enough to door up. Do I have your attention? We are entering recession. Any more time in this, it will be a depression. The dollar, yes, is falling. But before we bring up the road, you know that a lot of you people will have to lose your soul. I want you all to know, my friends, we are on to war. I want you all to know, my friends, we're marching out the door. You step one another, again and again. No one can stop us, friend. We're off to bloody war. Yes, we're off to war to bring the dollar soar. Going through the city. Oh yes, once more. Don't you see? Don't you believe? Chemtrail conspiracy is for you and me. That's why they're gonna kill us. So the another name will be survivable. Feel it. Don't you understand me? I just want to bring this to your attention. This has been warned. The Illuminati is coming, and you all been warned. Now we're on to war to make our dollars.
Yes, my friends. By the way, that little ditty was made 10 years ago. So there's been no shortages of warnings. You all have been properly warned. The method to the madness has been totally laid out. But yet you still want to deny the reality that you are all in this together. The same man who wants to see the black man die is the same man that wants to see you poor whites die. The same man who wants to see you brown and yellow die and red as well. He and she is the same humans who feel as if because of outside earth influences messing with their DNA genome, that they're special. They're privileged. They're intelligent. They're powerful. You're nothing. I say they should be a part of us. And us would then ascend to the cosmos and take our rightful place along with the other intelligent species of the universe. That's why, I go hard on human power, but I don't want that to be corrupted into ever believing that humanity should subjugate other sentient human beings ever, because that's not the way. There's only one way. And the real way, the true way, is for the strong to protect the weak. No matter what the weak is, the strong protect the weak to facilitate life for others after you die, to enjoy all the different experiences of the different genomes, the different species, the different family types, the different groups, so that we can enjoy this experience in this reality that we call the cosmos. We have to understand the principality of the battle that we're quite literally in. Whether you accept the fact that you're in combat or not, it's irrelevant. It does not have to be validated by you. The effects of the confrontation will still be felt by you, whether you accept it to be real or not. That's why I'm so harping on Black folks. We had to get ourselves together. If not, the plan is for us to be deleted. I'm not talking about all Black folks on the planet. I'm talking about specifically those of us in North America, aka the United States of America. We represent a shameful past. We represent everything that is counter what they're trying to convey to the world, what they are today. Wasn't for our exploited labor, this country would never been built. Wasn't for our desirable bodies, those who were implementing this devilish plan would never have done it. The reason why those old boys didn't want those slaves to leave is because their love, their interests, and their sense of self-worth goes when that slave leaves the plantation. They can't fuck this slave. They can't manipulate the slave. And they can't get accolades from the slave once the slave leaves. That's a very powerful force, and people will kill you to retain that. Never forget that. People will kill you for their emotional state. Sister Kathy, to a white racist, Black is crack. It is their drug of choice. To a white racist, Black is the only way that endorphins get released from their brains to make them feel good, as long as they're abusing us and mistreating us. They move us into the ghetto for a couple of reasons, Sister Kathy. For one, political reasons. If we're all congregated in one congressional districts, that means our voice, our political agenda is basically stifled to said agenda. Yeah, we'll get one or two representatives, but the overall analysis, our concerns will not be represented correctly, because all the other districts who have, let's say, more, let's just say Republicans and Democrats. Let's just use that analogy so everyone can readily understand. You have a lot of poor Democrats in one basically congressional district. They vote, whatever, boom, that district's got. But let's say there's 4 or 5 districts around it. The rest of them are populated with a little bit different Democrats, but a lot of Republicans. Democrats pick up 1 representative, Republicans pick up 3. That's how power is maintained in these United States of America. The reason why Obama didn't do shit for you, melanated brothers or sisters, because he wasn't placed into office to help you. He was placed in office to help the same people that Trump is helping, that Clinton has helped, that Bush had help, that Bush's daddy's help, that Ronald Reagan helped, that Jimmy Carter helped, that Nixon's helped. It goes on down the line. Let's not forget, this country was created for the opulent minority, basically rich white male. That's who this country was created for. So consequently, when you have all these new laws pertaining to discrimination or hate, who's the focal point? It's gay white men. When you break it down, it's all to protect the rich, gay, white male. It gives him power, gives him authority. Instead of being shamed, ridiculed, he is uplifted. And guess who he uplifts? Effeminate black men. Effeminate black men. Tyler Perry, Daniel Steele guy, Empire guy, Jesse Smollett, RuPaul. The list just goes on and on and on and on. This is where we are at. 2020. And by the way, folks, you're not living in 2020. We don't know what time we're in. That's what Flavor Flav was trying to actually tell you. What time is it? You don't know what time you're in. You only know what time has been given to you. This is not January 1st, 2020 on this planet at all. And we want to be quite serious and honest. This is like the year, what? 300 billion or 3 billion something and another. What I'm saying, Tate, is that this very concept of time is distorted only to the focal point about 5,000 years ago. And what happened about 5,000 years ago? Oh, the Edomite comes into existence. Where do you think the Edomite learned these horrible, horrible traits from? This is why forgiveness and reconciliation is so fundamentally important. This quite literally was a black planet. Quite literally. Things happen. Things change. Some may call it evolution. Others may call it alien intervention. Yet another may call it the decadence of Kemet. At one time, when the pyramids were actually powered up, the energy was flowing, we were as of gods. As soon as the pyramids got turned off, the power left us. We still had the independence and you ain't gonna tell me shit attitude. And we were destroyed by those who united underneath some sort of organized situation. You guys got to see, man. We can romanticize the past all day long. But there's a reason why the past is in the past. There's a reason why things happen. And there's a reason why we're in the very state we're in today. A lot of people don't see or understand. We need to stop misunderstanding and start overstanding, Sister Sandra. If not, then we're more than likely to be relegated to all the other animals that have become extinct on this planet. Earth is not a place for a species to thrive and grow. If you look at the fossil record of the planet, it's really quite easy and obvious to assume that Earth is a place where things go to die. Things go to die. That's the natural state of the planet. If we want to be unnatural, this is where things go to grow and become more proficient. Because the reality is, you see that we get to a certain social standing, and then there's a collapse, and we start at base zero again. Let's jump. I don't want to be doom and gloom, especially on the first day. Because like I said, in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some stories that you guys are going to be like, what the fuck? So I don't want to be doom and gloom. I'll let them have their due. We're going to use these headlines and we're going to try to find some positiveness, something to bring us up. The Pope says sorry for slapping devotees. Wow. Okay, it's getting kind of hard, but we're going to find a headline that gets us up, right? Tiger Woods looking for more history as he turns 44. I don't know if that's really powerful because I'm not really into golf. I'm not even going to lie. You know, even if I had the money to ride around on a golf cart getting drunk, I would not do it. I got better things to do with my time to hit balls and hoes. I stopped doing that in my 20s, actually. Never mind. South Florida ramps up security. More than 9,000 Jews gathered at New Jersey Stadium for Talmud. Talmud. This is interesting. Because don't forget the Talmud says that Jesus Christ is in hell boiling or cooking a pile of shit. All right. You know what? I should call Dr. Short up. I feel like calling Dr. Short up, wishing him Happy New Year's. You know what? I am going to call up Dr. Short and wish him a Happy New Year's. Because he's by far the expert on the Talmud, whatever the fuck.
Good morning.
Come on, doctor.
You have reached.
All right. Well, doctor must be busy. New Year's and all, I'm sure. And I lost that story that I had because I was thinking, all right, we're already, look at this guy, man. This is such a creepy look, dude. All right, hold on. Let's go back. We was on the third row here. Ooh. Federal debt up 10 trillion in 2010. And then Harvey Weinstein, the rapist, or alleged rapist rather. Okay, now this story here. Pack of teens launched savage attack on Orthodox Jews walking in Brooklyn. I almost guarantee you, pack of teens, code word for black children. And that's what they are, children. And the reason why I guess the Jews are targeted is that they feel as if they pick up the banner of Nazis, that they somehow will be rewarded. Because come on, that's who hates the white Jews or white Nazis. Other people don't give a fuck because they're powerless to say, hey, you guys aren't the real Jews anyhow. And the Nazis are just probably pissed because the Jews feel as if they're God's chosen people, and they are not. But they are converted Jews or Jews who assume the Hebrew identity. Genetically speaking, if you was to take a sample of their DNA, it would not go back to King David. It would not go back to Abraham. But this is the check on power. When you have true power, you can do things like that. No one can say shit. You know why? Because you can shut them down. Shut them down. So listen, y'all. This story right here, that story right there, almost foretells of the coming doom. Many Americans have been left out. Now, to the untrained eye, you're like, well, you know, they're just talking about, no, they're talking about white Americans. Black folks, you already should know that your ass has been left out, you know, on the big screen. Not the big screen, but the big picture. You already been like, we already know. So who's being left out now? The poor whites. All right. And the reason why the military doesn't want you guys to take those DNA kits, they don't want a lot of these white folks around here, dude, straight up are not white folks. Straight up. They're basically black folks passing as white. Hold on. Listen to this.
Babies are born not hating nobody. They learn it from their parents. You have any brothers or sisters?
I had a cousin. He passed.
Any of them got children?
My other cousin has a child.
Okay, I do a test sometimes when I'm talking. I say, those of y'all in here, raise your hand. Got children yet? We'll go back home this week and get the pictures from the time there was 1 to the time there was 8.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see no hatred,
Mm-hmm.
no meanness, no whores, no pimps. They learned that from you.
Preach.
When they came here, they were pure and clean. They been around nobody but your ass. That's how they become pimps, hoes, and hustlers, listening to you around the fucking house.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks again for having the show. Like since we posted the last interview, the response has been incredible. You know, you definitely, the vibrations are going. People are stimulating thought and all that stuff. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to like get caught up for one, and then also
anytime you want
to.
Anytime.
Race is a big issue right now. There's a lot of conversations being had about race and justice and injustice. I mean, you've been on the front lines of this. In the last interview, you talk about, you say you apologize to white folks because they're not the real white folks.
Yeah, they're not. Ku Klux Klan don't determine public policy. The most powerful businessmen in the world is white Christian businessmen in America. They don't wear crosses.
Yeah.
You can't find a poor person that got a cross on them. They don't wear no crosses. You know? But how can you call yourself a Christian with a gun and the Bible in the same house? Think about that. The most powerful human being on this planet is my mother, father, God. Huh? And every ant on this planet, there's an accountability to that one. Every frog, every grain of sand, every leaf on a tree. Huh? So what can you want for? Unless somebody shortcutted it.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things when people respond to your interview, it's like, you know, bulbs are lighting up. You're waking up minds.
Yeah.
You know, you're making people aware of things in a way that they may already agree with it. Maybe they knew some of it. They didn't know all of it.
Yeah, but see, the people who run this ain't worried about it because it's repeat. You can't get it repeat. When you learned your ABCs, it wasn't because you learned it once a month. It's every day, ABC.
Yep.
ABC. Mm-hmm. And a Muslim cousin of mine, I said, Merry Christmas. I don't believe in no white Christmas holiday. I said, anytime Christmas in this country come on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your bank closed, you participate.
Right. So
when you can't mail a letter, you participate.
So that's the structure.
Yeah.
It's white supremacy or patriarchy.
No,
how would you
it's white supremacy.
Okay.
White supremacy. That's who it is.
Okay.
Supreme. And if I'm not supreme to you, I'll make you think I am. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. When the World War II ended in Japan, and you saw them soldiers putting up America, that's bullshit, man. AP got there late, so they just went and picked out some soldiers and put there. 2 of them was Indians. All of them went crazy because the lie was too big.
Damn.
All of them was alcoholics. The lie was too big. But you can look at people. When I went downstairs to use the men's room, if I come back and the brother put some red paint on me, you react to the red paint. Hmm? You hear me? You react to the red paint. If we went to some darkest part of Africa today, where nobody's ever been, and carried one of them coffee percolators with us, where you have the water down here, and then it goes up, the coffee come back. All we got to do is have the water down here and some red dye, and we can tell them it's blood. We make blood.
Wow.
Okay? See, that's what ignorance is when you have to depend on something else other than what the real God gave you. And
did you all hear that? Other than what, that's why he said reading is a violation of the universe. Because when a lie is written and it's reread, it's reinterpreted, it's reinterpreted as being true. That's how lies have power. Most lies that you ever heard were first read to you.
then everything changes. Where America is today is when you hear a baby crying, and because of your ignorance and your program, shut up! The baby, the pen is sticking. The baby been there for 3 days, and now gangrene done sit in. That's why you know America can't. They react to us, the cops, the same way.
And that gangrene in America is a lack of reparations for black folks. We're telling you, hey, man, we need, shut up! Stop protesting. Because that needle has been sticking us for 400 fucking years.
You act to a child, shut up! Okay. Right. Huh? But you know something's wrong with the police, man. As a child, no boy that had no connections in the family pool ever wanted a police car for Christmas. It was always a fire truck. That's before I learned anything about good and bad and nasty and evil. Fire truck. When I was a little boy, I used to, when I hear a siren, I'd say a prayer. Now my prayer is different. When I see the police car, I pray that they and the people they're going to deal with will be safe. That's a hell of a way to interrupt the prayer. You have to say that for fire trucks. You know.
So why are we so targeted?
Huh?
Why are we so targeted by the police? People with dark skin.
Because it's real. It's real.
It's real. Fuck yeah.
That's like asking a Jew why they talk about Germans, or as a Christian why they still talking about Christ. 2,000 years later, but they don't want me to talk about it. Talk about Jesus Christ did that 3,000 years ago. Y'all still talking about it, but it's my turn. It's my turn, but I can't talk about it with hatred.
And let that be a lesson. Once you get reparations, you still can talk about it. You still can talk about it. It's just that you'll have some money in your pocket and some food in your fucking belly. Reparations is needed.
See, if you get mad at me, you know, there's a chemical reaction in your body. That's like letting air out your own tire. Don't bother me. But that's what the whole, and then the misinformation. Misinformation.
Such as, well, let's go into some of these Black Lives Matter issues.
Well, Black Lives
Matter is basically gay lives matter. Black Lives Matter is an organization put together by homosexuals to facilitate the homosexual agenda.
Matter one is the Koch brothers is paying for that, so you have to go into that knowing that's bullshit.
Okay.
That's why some Time magazine in 1 month 3 times cover. See, the thing is this. Jews had a legitimate gripe in Germany when they say Jewish lives matter. Then you come up with some bullshit. Well, so do the Irish, so do the other men. It's the Jews who's being killed.
Here's the reality, y'all. That organization should be named Black Gays Lives Matter. Because that's what it's about. If you go to the Black Lives Matters website and they show you what they're talking about transgenderism, bisexuality, and all that nonsense.
No, you wasn't talking about, nobody said talking about other lives before we said Black Lives Matter. And it must not matter to somebody. because it keeps happening over and over and over. And then white folks realize that one day they better start saying white lives matter. Because when they just busted a major German car manufacturer that tricked the exhaust up, and out of that 128 people died. And all they had to do was pay a fine. Nobody had to plead guilty. That's what this is about. When they reduced me down to teaching my black sons that when you see this evil, nigger-hating cop, behave yourself. Anytime you teach a child with your genes that came out your wife's belly to behave for filth, the child believes something wrong with them.
Listen to that.
Nobody
again.
had to plead guilty. That's what this is about. When they reduced me down to teaching my black sons that when you see this evil, nigger-hating cop, behave yourself. Anytime you teach a child with your genes that came out your wife's belly to behave for filth, the child believes something wrong with them.
Yep. Did you hear what he said? I'm going to play it once again so that you understand and hear what Bubba Dick Gregory said.
Me down to teaching my black sons that when you see this evil, nigger-hating cop, behave yourself. Anytime you teach a child with your genes that came out your wife's belly to behave for filth, the child believes something wrong with them. I can't believe that you telling me this is what goes on inside my head. You telling me you know this is a murder. I mean, it's how it works. There's a whole lot of doctors that get busted for malpractice. You don't hear nobody say all doctors are bad. Hey, wait a minute. Huh? Whole lot of lawyers. You say like, no, all. How come we say, why you got to say all cops are not bad? Because you know they are. You see them. You in the station with them. You see them. And to be a white cop in America, unless you follow the family to that, there's something wrong with that. There's too many opportunities for white boys in America to want to be a cop. You didn't like me before you got the gun. So, you see him. And to be a white cop in America, unless you follow the family to that, there's something wrong with that. There's too many opportunities for.
You hear him? Too many opportunities.
White boys in America to want to be a cop. You didn't like me before you got the gun. Why do you think you don't turn on TV or have white folks on this show that talk about these black cops that shot their brother in the head 44 times? With the thousands of black cops in America, you think cops is better trained or more spiritual? No, then the white folks ain't gonna tolerate it.
Yep, there
So
it is.
we get to the point, we're not gonna tolerate it. What does that mean? Get a gun? No, you don't need no gun. All you gotta do is call for a boycott from Thanksgiving to Christmas. 79% of all retail happen doing that. Just to threaten them, they stop. You say, well, we want Confederate flags. There's 12 states in America got Confederate flags somewhere in their flags. All you got to do is say, if that's not removed by this weekend, we're calling for black folks and decent white folks not to send none of your athletes to these southern states.
Did you hear what he said? Black folks and decent white folks. Even Bubba Dick Gregory knows. Without getting everyone aboard, your mission ain't gonna happen. So for everybody who's all upset, oh no, fuck them all, blah blah blah, dude, you're never gonna get shit accomplished. Not in this society. Not the way the basically racial numbers are where they're at today. That's why truth is so damn powerful, because it doesn't matter if you're black, white, red, yellow. If it's true and it actually helps promote your personal peace, safety, prosperity, you're going to be down for it, unless you're some sort of lunatic maniac, some sort of idealist fanatic. You're going to want that because it is a win-win. Only until reparations are paid to black folks and black folks are made economically viable will this present system ever have a snowball chance in hell of moving forward. Let's continue.
Just imagine why. Because the South don't have no $1 trillion sports industry except colleges. Okay?
So we're not using our economic power.
You don't know, you ain't got no economic power. What economic powers you got, huh?
Did you hear that? I hate to bust your bubble. Hold on, let's play it again.
Okay.
So we're not using our economic power.
You don't know, you ain't got no economic power. What economic powers you got, huh?
What economic power you got? Let's be real. Let's come out of cupcake land. One last time, then we let it roll.
To these southern states. Just imagine why. Because the South don't have no $1 trillion sports industry except colleges. Okay?
So we're not using our economic power.
You don't know, you ain't got no economic power. What economic powers you got, huh? That's bullshit, man. You ain't got no economic powers.
Damn.
Huh? Name them. Name the only building of a black company. Headquarters is downtown. It's Johnny Johnson's, Ebony and Jet. Mm-hmm. In the whole country. There's no other. And he had to get a whiteboard to fake.
Once again, you see how he had to use the tools to build the magazine? So when you get on economic, man, come on, dude. You better use that spiritual power to turn your enemy into your brother. You better use the power of unity to overcome so all will have a shot at liberation. Because anything else is not only fairy tale, it's collective suicide at this point.
And now he lost it. He don't own it no more.
Right. Yeah, they had to sell the photo archives.
Huh?
They had to sell the photo archives as well.
They sold everything, man.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can't have nothing in this country. They don't want you to have it. Huh?
Yeah. Well, is that part of the game? Like we can have money, but we can't have wealth as black people?
No, that's tricky language, man. My grandma don't know what you just said. You ain't never had no money. Huh? Let me tell you something, man. Mm-hmm. If you was a congressperson, all Congress...
We can't have wealth as black people?
No, that's tricky language, man. My grandma don't know what you just said. You ain't never had no money. Huh? Let me tell you something, man. Mm-hmm. If you was a congressperson, all Congress districts get a piece of the defense budget.
Yep.
Every one of them.
You see that symbol he's throwing up? You see the symbol? He's letting you know what white power is really all about. Come on, let's do it one more time, y'all. One more time. 2020.
Get a piece of the defense budget. Every one of them. Now, the top 20 defense budget districts is $19 billion or more.
19 billion, y'all.
The first 11 is Democratic districts. Not Republican. The first two, hear me.
One more.
If you was a congressperson, all Congress districts get a piece of the defense budget. Every one of them. Now, the top 20 defense budget districts is $19 billion or more. The first 11 is Democratic districts, not Republican. The first two, hear me, number 2 and number 3 is in black districts. Number 1, Chicago.
Welcome, Kim. Peace and power. Happy 2020. Did you hear that? Number 1 district was Chicago, or is Chicago actually?
I'm sorry, St. Louis, Congressman. In black districts. Number 1,
Brother
Chicago.
West.
I'm sorry, St. Louis, Congressman. Why? McDonnell Douglas.
Yep.
Number 3, the ex-Black Panthers is in Congress from Chicago. What's that? Boeing aircraft. So if you don't know the language, you can't figure it out. That's what it's about. White ain't a color, it's an attitude. And we don't know nothing about no damn money.
Brother West. And I'm going to continue this, but I want to speak on this. Angie Jones, welcome to the house. Peace and power, sister. Glad you made it in here. Glad you're here. Brother West, yesterday what happened was a miracle. If you looked at yesterday's broadcast, we started the broadcast. I showed everybody how they banned the video the day prior. Throughout that broadcast, towards the end, you see they unlocked it. YouTube unlocked it. Powerful people are listening to the show. Powerful people are listening to the show. This is why I'm fired up to come in here and do. I don't care if I have 2 people. I don't care if I have 1 million people. All it takes is that one person with real power to implement change, and that person is you. Let's continue.
And what money you got, they can take it from you in the morning. Outside of Washington, D.C., there's a huge place they build in that gambling casino, National Harbor. A black man owned all of that. Not just the harbor. That's just 1/10 of the land that he owned. White boy show up one day, say, Mill, we need to talk to you. We got the documents, we're going to buy your land. Oh, him, don't worry about it. That's narcotics. So that's the drugs while you was in the room winking at that waitress. He was putting drugs in your car. So we're fixing to bust you. It's that simple. Michael Jackson. A child.
This archive video is coming from, hold on. Can you guys see it? Well, it's Real Black YouTube. REELBLACK. Real Black YouTube. Go do a YouTube search. Check them out. I'm going to hold on. Let's just go right to their YouTube channel so everybody can see this, so that nobody is out of the cut. There it is. Type in this name right here, REELBLACK, just that name into the YouTube browser. This individual, I don't know if they're male or female. I have no idea who they or what they may be, nor do I care. They bring on quality, informative, I guess, black folks topics. I mean, look, Bill Cosby. They got Clover Washington, the gun. I mean, oh, hold on. What the heck? Hold on, let's go back to that.
I'm Lieutenant Brooks, Juvenile Division. The story you're about to see is not pleasant, but it's true. It's the story of the hatred of one man for another, because his skin is brown, or his eyes are slanted, or his talk is strange. It's a senseless but for all that, nonetheless real.
See, this is what I be trying to bring you out. You know, forget that old cookie cutter bullshit. If y'all want to see some go and check out other people's shit. There's a lot of people out here doing it. Go and check out some other people's shit. But I be trying to bring you stuff that's so interesting, so unique, so odd, so fascinating. That yes, it's truth. Because I'm going to tell everyone right here, right now, we are all in this thing called life together. And we are stronger together. And you think it's bullshit, but I'm telling you out to your fucking face. The next Adolf Hitler is going to be a man who can take all the races, somehow come up with a propaganda sheet that unites them all. Therefore, he can use all the different individuals of the organizations to infiltrate the other, I guess, united fronts or racial fronts, using them as spies to destroy the others one by one, thus solidifying his or her power, or even it if it's an AI. And honestly, humanity would be better for his or her or its actions. Because we are never going to get off of this damn rock called Earth the way we are going. We have been landlocked, planet locked for thousands upon thousands of years. Just think right now, folks. If alien life was meant, or not meant, but alien life was presented to you as a reality, it is true. Whose culture will represent the main culture of Earth? Would it be one of sharing and compassionate of those cultures that we traditionally find in the equator belt of the world? Or would it be one of mine, I gotta kill you because winter's coming, that we find in hostile regions of the world? Friends, there's so little time. There's so very little time. I want to show you something. And this is a little bit off the cuff. This is for more scientific people. Okay. But I want to show you something. While a lot of us, our young people, are doing whatever, and listen, young people, I am not one to berate you or belittle you. Oh, you guys are just stupid as fuck. Blah, blah. No. All right. I'm just saying that until we understand. Oh no, here we go. The live studio audience is in the house. Hold on. No, stop, y'all. Stop. Okay. But hold on. 1 second, y'all. I'm doing a live show. Oh my god. They just bummed. Hold on. Are you gonna share? Here, you take this, or else she gets this and you get this, or she gets this and you get this. All right. Now go to the room and play. Now you go and play as well. Oh my goodness, that was a they're starting off the year like they finished off last year, fighting and fussing. All right. Hold on. Okay, I have to find this another way. Hold on. I just say homemade. I want you guys to see this cat and what he's doing, man. Now, like I said, while a lot of our that makes me wonder. Now, while a lot of our children are doing whatever the fuck, check out what this young man's doing.
Hey everybody. Now I feel like I say this a lot, but I just finished building my most terrifying device yet.
So this right here is my 200-watt laser bazooka. 200 watts. Now, just to give you a scope of things, this laser pointer right here is 0.005 watts. That's at the FDA limit where a quick flash of the eyes shouldn't do any eye damage. Now, this laboratory laser right here is 0.5 watts, which puts it at the highest dangerous safety rating for a laser, which means that just looking at the spot on the wall can give you eye damage. And then this baby right here sits at 200 watts, which means it's 400 times over the most dangerous rating imposed by the FDA. So without further ado, let's play with this thing. I built this laser bazooka almost completely out of scrap parts and broken electronics. So
did you hear what he said? He built this. He didn't go to no Amazon. He didn't go to Walmart. He didn't go to whatever. He built it himself because he had the time to get the knowledge it took to make something worth a fuck. Let's check it out.
the casing of the gun is built out of scrap metal that I cut down with a file and hacksaw. And yes, that took a long time. And then the heart of the gun are these 450-watt blue laser diode banks that I ripped out of some broken DLP projectors that I scored off of eBay. And these parts right here are called knife edgers. They're optical components that combine the individual laser beams from the laser diodes to make a more homogenized beam. Then here's my main focusing lens, which simply condenses the output for up-close burning. Then this is my safety switch, which is really just a screwdriver jammed into a circuit breaker. Then, of course, I also decided to add a LEP adapter and amplifier, because you can't have a good laser gun without one of these. This thing is so unbelievably dangerous to operate, I had to build this. It's simply a welding mask with laser goggles fit into it. That way I don't go blind when I'm using the laser. All right, let's fire this thing up. Hit the safety switch. The power output on this thing is insane. In fact, a direct hit to the eyes would be 33 million times more intense than staring into the sun. And actually, I'm pretty sure that this is the strongest portable laser that's ever been built by a hobbyist. So that's pretty awesome. And man, it just feels like I'm holding a ball of lightning in my hands. This is definitely my new favorite toy. Let's shoot through this computer case.
This guy is fucking insane.
Titanium infused gunpowder.
Yes, Weird. He is an MIT nerd, which is the future masters of this world. Now, you keep on playing around, listening to your bullshit, doing your fucking fantasies, fucking circle jerk on past fucking technology, or you get with it and you become fucking engineers and developers of new technologies and weapon systems. If not, then get prepared to get down on your knees and bow the fuck on down. Keep on clowning. Hold on. I'm going to go to dude's little fucking webpage. I want you to see some of his latest shit. All right? Because he has grown and grown and grown and grown. Hold on. And once again, this has come to me from a confidential informant. Wait, I want to show you what he found an old book. There's the old book that he's found, and this one right here.
About a year ago, I was digging through some trash cans at school when I came across this amazing book from 1933. It's called The Chemical Formulary, and it's filled with all these different recipes from things like plastic. About a year ago, I was digging through some trash cans at school when I came across this amazing book from 1933. It's called The Chemical Formulary, and it's filled with all these different recipes from things like plastics to adhesives to explosives and pharmaceuticals. It's an amazing book. It has all these really...
For all you preppers, I suggest you get this book. I am desperately trying to find it on PDF format. If I find it, then I'll actually share the information with you.
Really brilliant ideas, but there are also a few just completely crazy ones, and those are the ones I'm going to try today. Now, I feel like I'm stating the obvious here, but please don't try any of these things at home. Like, some of these recipes in here could either blow your hands off, give you cancer, or even kill you in one breathful for the ones that make cyanide gas. So yeah, just leave that to me, please. And without further ado, let's get started. Don't you hate it when your coins are all dirty? Well, using this book, you can actually clean them yourself. All you need is a gallon of water and enough cyanide to kill 2,000 people. Now, unfortunately, I only have a few grams of cyanide, so I can only make enough to clean, a few handfuls of coins.
Now, how many of y'all got cyanide lying around the house that you made yourself?
As opposed to like a truckload. Why do I even own cyanide? Man, why do I even do this crap? There's enough cyanide inside this little vial to kill me like 50 times over. So just the fact that I'm handling this stuff should definitely earn your subscription. Paint it on there. Oh, look at that. The tarnish is coming right off. The cyanide's probably reacting with the copper and the copper oxide and reducing it to make a copper cyanide complex. What smells like almonds? Man, I don't like touching that. Wow, look how shiny that penny became. Now that's a coin worth risking your life over. This recipe claims it can make fabric fireproof. Now fireproof, we'll see about that. I mixed up a batch of this fireproofing stuff using some roach killer and lye, and although it sounds pretty scary, it's identical to what's used in the book. The cloth on the left is the one that was dipped in that fireproofing solution. Impressive, look at that. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I'm going to give that one a C, because it definitely was harder to light, but once it lit, it wasn't stopping. Now, I won't be demonstrating this one for you today, but I just can't help but wonder the circumstances for when this recipe actually got used. All right, this one's pretty interesting. Solidified alcohol. And the chemistry just looks like making soap in alcohol solution. Now, why you need... This is code word for basically you can use this recipe to heat up your food, in a prepping situation, or you can use it as an impromptu form of napalm. Solidified alcohol? I'm not sure, but it sounds like fun. Now, heating flammable liquids to nearly their boiling point is never really a great idea, but I did it and survived and made some of this cool solid alcohol. So does it ignite? Let's find out. Ah, cool. I feel like this would make a great camping fuel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Does it still burn when it's flying through the air? Well, one way to find out, I guess.
Napalm.
Yep, definitely still burns. Man, this stuff is so much fun. I wish I would have known about this as a kid. Actually, no, that would have probably been a terrible idea. Have a family member or pet die recently? Well, funerals can be expensive. But lucky for you, there is a nice recipe in here for some corpse tissue filler. Here's one from the photography section called flashlight powder. Now, when I think of a flashlight, I think of, a continuous beam of light. But judging from the chemicals used in this definitely looks like something that will flash blind you for like 15 minutes. It's been a while since I've had a good flash blinding, so I stuck some of that flashlight powder on top of that tomato here. Whoa! That was so bright. I'm going to be seeing spots for hours. Okay, this one's one of my favorites. It's an asthma remedy that involves mixing a bunch of herbs, some of them toxic, and mixing it with the main...
Seriously, though, on asthma, if you want to see moderate to damn near amazing effect, purify water and have the asthmatic drink that water. At least 3 16 cups a day. 3 16 cups a day or more. It's amazing. But let's continue.
Ingredient in gunpowder and then putting it into a pipe and smoking it. How's that supposed to make your lungs feel better? Here's one that sounds about as dangerous as it is fun. So it's a reusable match. So it's supposedly a match that you can strike on a surface and light, blow it out, and then relight it again sometime in the future. Like, that sounds amazing, but I'll have to see it to believe it. The pyroxylin that this recipe called for is pretty much impossible to turn into a powder, so I had to dissolve it in acetone before mixing it with the other chemicals. But then I was able to mold it into some match heads and stick it on the end of pencils. All right, let's see if this thing works. Rubbing the match heads on concrete didn't light them, so I had to put them on a grinding wheel. Oh, there it goes! that didn't go out. So just like I thought, this one was too good to be true. In the end, they just turned out to be really crappy matches. Here's a cold remedy that involves inhaling a mixture of chloroform, formaldehyde, ether, and alcohol, and plus a few herbs. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, the chloroform and formaldehyde are definite carcinogens, and then the chloroform and ether, that's like a Civil War era anesthetic. This will literally render you unconscious. So I decided to put a little bit of chloroform, ether, and isopropyl alcohol in this bottle just to give this a test. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Smells like cancer. All right, here's one I know won't work well. So it's a recipe for black powder, and it's a mixture of potassium nitrate, sulfur, and charcoal. And now the ingredients aren't the issue, but they make it seem like you can make good gunpowder by just mixing these ingredients together. It doesn't work that way. Making good black powder is really an art form. You can't just simply mix the components together. It needs to be milled together with something like a ball mill, and then granulated with a solvent. And to top it off, the speed of the black powder is highly dependent on the kind of charcoal that you use. On the left is 50 grams of black powder made by the book, and then on the right is 30 grams of my own homemade stuff. Now I'm going to put them both through the golf ball can to see how they act. Man, I have a lot of redneck artillery. First, I loaded the can with the stuff based on the book's recipe.
Now, why does he even have a cannon? Keep on tripping, y'all. And this is just a regular citizen, an average Joe. How many of you guys know someone with a cannon?
And it's not that impressive. Then I loaded it with some of the powder that I made based on Polonia charcoal. And as you can tell, it's much, much better than the book's recipe. Poison ivy sucks, but according to this book, relief from itching is just a few lethal doses of lead away. Here's one called Oriental Barometer, and I guess it's supposed to change colors depending on whether it's humid or not. Sounds interesting. I painted some cobalt chloride solution on this fake flower, and although the effect is subtle, it definitely changes color in high humidity. Now, I know I've been fairly hard on this book, but in reality, this book would have been very useful to somebody who knew a little bit of chemistry in the 30s, because it's not like they had the internet to go look things up. There are a ton of good recipes in here for lots of different things that you could encounter in your daily life. About a year ago, I was digging through some trash cans at school when I came across this amazing book from 1933. It's called The Chemical Formulary, and it's filled with all these different recipes from things like plastics to adhesives to explosives and pharmaceuticals. It's an amazing book. It has all these really brilliant ideas, but there are also a few just completely crazy ones, and those are the ones I'm going to try today. This chemical recipe book from 1933 is one of the coolest things I've ever found in a trash can, and you guys seem to really like it when I tested all the crazy recipes inside. So without further ado, here's part 2. All right, I gotta state the obvious here. Please don't try any of these recipes at home. Like if you were to take some random person off the street and have them try all the recipes in this book, they almost certainly would get killed before finishing it, so please leave that to me. According to this recipe, molasses with just a pinch of neurotoxin is all it takes to keep your high voltage contraptions from arcing over. So let's give this thing a shot. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I've had more than my fair share of lead exposure over the years, so I decided to sub out the lead oxide with some bismuth trioxide. It's chemically pretty similar. Here I've broken out Old Smoky, and as you can tell, she's definitely seen better days. Now, she only outputs about a volt, but she can output about 1,000 amps. All right, can this molasses mix stop Old Smoky? Let's find out. Yeah, it looks like it. Impressive. Now, it doesn't take crazy recipes to stop a single volt, but let's see if this molasses stuff can stop some real voltage. Here goes nothing. Ha, it's like there's nothing even there. Although granted, it is very hard to stop 100 kV. Here's one that will kill me a lot slower than most of the other recipes in this book. It's a recipe for vanilla icing. Now, I'm a terrible cook, but this sounds like something I can do. Now, I didn't need 7 pounds of this stuff, so I scaled it back quite a bit. And also, I decided to leave out the egg whites because I'm not feeling a case of salmonella today. All right, let's give this vanilla icing a try. It's actually pretty good. I'm impressed, really. Although, even though it's satisfying to my taste buds, it still doesn't satisfy my urge to light things on fire. Luckily, you only need one extra chemical in order to convert delicious treats into extremely high temperature burning incinerating mixes, and that's some good old-fashioned potassium chlorate. Let's see how well this stuff burns.
Fertilizer.
Oh, look at that. It is flammable. And that's what 1,000 calories looks like. And you know, compared to all the other crazy stuff this book made me make, this stuff actually smells pretty pleasant. It's still burning like a minute later. That's fun. Here's one that seems awesome, but is straight up suicide. It's a recipe for tracer bullets. And it's based off of a bismuth type of thermite. And it makes an extremely bright light. I've actually made similar mixtures in pyrotechnics. But it wants me to press it with 1,000 pounds of force. You want to know why I'm not going to press it with 1,000 pounds of force? Here's some of this mixture right here. As you can tell, this mixture is extremely friction sensitive. So this is not something I'm going to press with 1,000 pounds. On further evaluation, this recipe is really too clever not to try. So like I said, it's a type of thermite with bismuth trioxide reacting with magnesium. But the book uses an abundance of magnesium. That way, when the reaction starts burning, the excess magnesium gets heated up, which burns in air to make it extremely bright. But what's also awesome is that the metallic bismuth that's generated in the reaction is also very hot. And that will also react with the oxygen in the air, burning to make more of the bismuth trioxide. So in the end, you're only driving the reaction by burning magnesium, but you have a bunch of sources of bright white light. So I'm going to give this a try anyway. I don't feel like blowing my hands off today, so I made a slight modification to the mixture, and that was just by adding 5% red gum. Now this stuff is essentially glue. That means I can just dump in some solvents and turn the stuff into pellets without compressing it and blowing off my limbs. Now these pellets won't be as structurally strong as if I would have actually pressed them, but I won't be shooting them out of a gun at supersonic speeds, so I don't need that kind of strength. Instead, I'm just going to toss them in my black powder cannon. Why do I even own a cannon? Here's the first test shot, with about 50 grams of the tracer pellets. I made these a bit too small because they burned up a few feet after leaving the barrel, but it's also because they're only going maybe a couple hundred miles per hour as opposed to supersonic like a bullet. I tried it again with bigger grain size, and the effect was a lot cooler. I would have tried again to get a better camera angle, but at this point I think the neighbors had had enough. Alright, this one seems pretty interesting. It's a recipe for an anti-fogging compound. That means 2017 and my windshield still fog up, so let's try it to see if this thing works. I mixed up some of this anti-fog compound, but I decided to go a lot lighter on the soap, because nowadays our soaps are much, much stronger than they were in 1933. I'm only going to paint this stuff on half of this little piece of glass here. That way one side will act as a control. I threw that piece of glass inside the freezer to see if I could get any kind of condensation. And yeah, look at that. The uncoated side is already starting to fog up. Now, I would bet you that the other side is getting condensation too, but whatever water forms on the surface simply just dissolves inside of that acetone and glycerin mix. So yeah, this thing did work. I'm pretty impressed. Here's another one of those solid fuels like I did in my last video. And again, I'm not even sure why you need this, other than maybe preparing for warfare from your household, but let's give it a try. This mixture uses gasoline as opposed to alcohol like in the last one, but the concept is still the same. You're still just making soap inside of that fuel solution, and it does require heating up that flammable solvent to high temperatures, which is never really safe, but I was able to do it and make some of this solid gasoline. My first batch of this stuff sucked. It barely even turned solid at all. But my second batch turned out awesome because I used a lot more stearic acid. And as you can tell, it's pretty solid. It starts off solid, but once it gets burning, it starts melting and dripping liquid burning stuff everywhere. That's actually pretty terrifying. Yeah, there it goes. I would not want that spilled onto me. Now I know what you're thinking. This recipe is useless if it doesn't stay lit while it's shooting out of a cannon. Man, why do I do this crap? So that's about it for this video. But stay tuned because I have a lot more videos in the works right now. And really, I can make a whole channel based off this chemical formulary. There's so many crazy recipes in this book. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Keep playing games. Keep thinking that, there's some sort of military solution to this thing. I'm telling you straight up, it's spiritual. It's conversion of hearts and minds. You get a little cat like that on your team, you're unfucking stoppable. This will conclude TPIM SR Live for January 1st, 2020, the year of our Lord. Yes, we made it, yeah. I want to thank all the chatters, all the viewers, all the watchers, everyone who has supported the show, all the Patreon members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be the year of the hub. Peace and power. Oh, I did that messed up, didn't I? As always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. Brothers and sisters, please, please, please be kinder towards each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect. Liberation. I'm out.